Hey, what's up? It's Fuel Your Life Friday. Let's go. The 4th of July in the United States is a day of celebration of independence and freedom, but today I wanted to focus on the power of reclaiming your own personal freedom. This is the freedom of self. I believe this looks different for each person, but I think a huge part of reclaiming personal freedom is actively working on the parts of your life that feel off balance. For some, this is relationships. Others, this may be education, your job, parenting. For me, I've been actively reclaiming my personal freedom through 3 key areas: my financial freedom, my mental freedom, and my physical freedom. Starting with the financial freedom, I have been diligently paying off debt for over a year now. I've implemented my own version of cash envelopes to help me save for larger, more costly events. Now, this was first outlined in a Fuel Your Life Friday episode, I think back in December, maybe November. But essentially, anytime there's cash in my wallet or extra cash is made through selling things on Marketplace or, selling my kids' clothes at consignment, that cash then goes into an envelope, which is marked with an event and a goal. Once that goal is hit, a new envelope is then worked on. This has allowed me to take control of my finances in a new way while helping me plan for upcoming events without dipping into my bank account. My goal is to live a financially free life with no debt. I know I can do this, but I also know I have to take the steps to actively achieve it. Next up, my mental freedom. Every day I work on my mental freedom. I've said it before and I will say it again. Our thoughts are not facts. So if you've ever been a prisoner of your own mind, you know how deep and dark it is. By doing all of the inner work, I've been able to change a lot of my limiting beliefs as well as change the way that I have that inner conversation. My practicing gratitude has been huge for me. I used to allow things to get me down for a day or week. Sometimes longer than that. But I've begun to notice that now when I have bad thoughts and, when those moods kind of come over me, my brain then quickly shifts into gratitude, and it is so powerful. And of course, next up is physical freedom. I hope to be able to come onto the show one day and tell you that I have this amazing workout routine that I've settled into. I wake up at 6 a.m., I make some lemon water, and I do a workout, and I follow it up with a protein smoothie. But today is not that day that you'll be hearing that from me. I've had to reclaim my physical freedom by truly becoming confident within my own skin. This was step 1 for about 3 years of my life because I ate my feelings. The first year that I lived alone in college, I didn't gain that freshman 15. I gained the sophomore 35. And I remember people talking about my weight gain as if I couldn't hear them. The world of hurt I was living in during that time period felt downright painful, and it led me to a whole bunch of toxic beliefs about my body. And then after I had kids, those beliefs were then fueled in a whole new way. Now, aside from being comfortable in my skin, I also had to decrease the amount of stress in my life. A huge part of this was becoming more aligned with my purpose and implementing personal boundaries, which also then goes back to that whole mental freedom. But at one point, I was actually in the hospital for a condition that was brought on by stress. Stress is a literal killer, and it affects your physical body in immense ways. I do turn to yoga and dance as my physical energy outlets, and I love to ride my bike with my kids. To me, my physical routine aligns with the current chapter in my life. I always have room for improvement, but I see my growth and I honor it. So today or this weekend, take some time to reflect on the areas of your life that need your attention. Where can you start reclaiming your freedom? What are the baby steps that you can take to start getting some of that power back? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and be sure to give the podcast a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or wherever it is that you tune in and turn it up. That's all for today. I'll see you back here next week, but until then, remember, every level of life is an opportunity to grow. Be well, my friend.